Everybody, and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for everything Mondoid update. That was horrible as always. But anyway, I want to welcome you to Mondoid. This Monday brings a blog post that is going to surprise everybody, I'm expecting, because no one expected this coming. And this is the Sandbox Options. Now, I know you're like, wait up, Mathis, what's up with the metagame? We want to see the metagame! Well, this kind of leads into the metagame as far as the kind of overall feel of tailoring the game to your playstyle. With the metagame, you have your scenarios, you have basically the evil zombie AI director always makes sure trouble comes to you. But this is the Sandbox Options, and what this is going to allow you to do is kind of what you're doing right now, in that you have kind of power over how the game starts, except they've given you a lot more control. So let me kind of begin. Lemmy's the one writing the blog post here, and he kind of goes off and starts talking about how very diverse the Zomboid community is. And if you have ever stopped by the forums, you know that the Zomboid community is diverse, at the very least. They are a very opinionated bunch. And since the game community is relatively small on the forums, everybody's opinion is loud. And he's talking about one of the things they've always done, which I have definitely seen. I've been one of those people saying that when they release a new version of the game, people are always like, oh, could you please raise the zombie count? It's too low. Or, oh, could you please lower the zombie count? It's like I'm starting in the middle of the zombie infection, etc., etc. So instead of them kind of trying to find the perfect balance, because in my opinion, and in their opinion as well, it's impossible, they've put that power into your hands. Now, we're going to be going down, talking about, once we get to the picture here, which is coming up, but they're just talking a little bit about how they're working with getting the farming mod and other features into the game right now, and they still haven't changed anything really. Like they're basically reassuring you that they haven't changed anything drastic as far as that's concerned. They and in the metagame, hopefully we'll see the metagame shortly. But here's the important part. This right here. We're gonna pop this picture open, and we're gonna get a nice, good look at what we're looking at here. So here is the new Sandbox Options, and God, doesn't it look super sexy. So, you have population options on the left-hand side. We're going to cover that first. So obviously, you can say, what are the population? It's going to be normal. It's going to be distribution. You can even choose their distribution focus. Urban, rural, I'm assuming, out kind of unified, I think, is also an option. And the survivors, you can have no survivors, some survivors, lots of survivors. It's up to you, however you want to do that. And the time length options, you can do everything. Day length is an hour. Start time is July at 9 a.m. All this stuff. But you can even change the day to a 24-hour cycle, like real time. And how cool would that be? In my opinion, what I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking, okay, well, if we ever get a server up and running when multiplayer hits, that would be an awesome option to have a full-time 24-hour cycle. So if people are going to log in and the server is constantly ticking away in real time, then we can, I can have it running on like Eastern Standard Time, and I'll know, for all those people who are on the East Coast or can, do the time changes in their head, they know when they log in, it's going to be a certain part of the day. You can also change the water, electricity, and loot rarity, which is going to make, all this stuff is awesome for multiplayer, but also I'm thinking this is going to be making Let's Plays, way more fun to watch, because now you're going to have, each different Let's Play is going to be hugely different, and the one fun part about Zomboid, and why I love doing the Let's Plays of Zomboid, and why Zomboid Let's Plays are going to be, I think, really big, is because when you watch a zombie Let's Play, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for what this game offers. You're looking for the story of the survivor trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse. You're not looking for a Rambo, in the zombie apocalypse who's immune to the infection, can just kill everything. And, you can play those games. They're all over the place. But when you get to a true survival zombie game, it's way more watchable. And then you can tailor that experience. You can tailor that cinematic experience to your personal preferences, or to your viewers, especially. If you want to be like, all right, guys, challenge me. What do you want? Do you want a short day length and whatnot? Do you want no water, no electricity off the bat? Do you want loot to be rare? Now, here's the important part on the right-hand side. As you can see, it says proper zombies. So you could have speed, shamblers, strength, normal, toughness, normal. How do you get a transmission to blood and saliva, basically bitten and whatnot? Infection mortality, 2 to 3 days before you die. Reanimation time, 0 to 1 minutes. contagion, all this stuff. This is huge right here. Because you can tailor make your zombies. You turn off that proper zombies, you can turn on, they can be runners. They can be super strong, super tough. Transmission can be as you want. It could be airborne or something. I'm curious. I'm very curious how that's going to work. Mortality rate. You could have it last, like you could get bitten and then you have a week ahead of you. Think about that. Okay, I've been bitten, but I don't get infected for another week. Now I have to live the last week of my life knowing I'm going to be dead, as opposed to saying, okay, in 2 to 3 days I'm dead. Reanimation time is 0 to 1 minute, so you could change it to like an hour. All this stuff, Taylor makes a zombie experience to the player. How do you want this to work? How do you want to play the game? And this is huge, not only for Let's Plays, for people who are very picky about how the game works, very picky about how the game is going to play out for them. Do you like slow zombies? I know that's kind of my preference. I love slow zombies, but I also love the horde as well. So I like slow zombies where there's a lot of them, but I like that to build up over time as well. As they decompose, look at, you can have them, they get slower and weaker. So if there's one that's particularly fast and a bit stronger, he's a relatively new turner. All this cool stuff. Their sight, their hearing, their smell, you can turn that up, crank it down. All this stuff, we're going to go back now, is huge. And that is very, very, very cool. Now, one thing he does say, this is not going to carry over into the story mode because they have a very set idea when it comes to telling the Zomboid story. They want the zombies to work a particular way. They want the days to work in a particular way. I'm assuming electricity and water, all that's going to be turned off at a certain time in the storyline, etc., etc. But that's fine, because a bulk of people's playtime, and I really do believe, is going to be spent in the Sandbox Options. And when multiplayer does eventually hit a year or two down the line, you're going to be looking at this being one of the biggest focuses when you turn on a server. What kind of zombie lore do you guys want to play with? And that is huge, and that is really, really, really cool. And they're talking about how easy it is to do this now, and this is a no-brainer for them to take a look and do this, because with the new 3D sprite system, this has become super easy to just make the zombie sprites become faster, etc., etc. Look at, you can pop this open again, and now you have, you turn this off. You got sprinters. Their strength is superhuman. Their toughness is tough. It's airborne transmission. Infection is mortality is instant. The reanimation time is instant. Contagion, congestion. Oh my God! Navigate and use indoors. They have a long memory. They when they see you, this is, I'm assuming memory is when they see you. How long do they know you're around? How long will they chase in that general direction? Decomposition, they don't, because these are basically the infected zombies from like the rage virus. Essentially, they have eagle sight. They have pinpoint hearing. They're like bloodhound smelling. And you can change all this, so they're like blind and they can't smell for crap, but they can hear perfectly. Like all this cool stuff. It just is like, okay, crap. Now I really want to play RC3, right? This is what I want to do. And this is really going to change how people play this game. And what I highly suggest is come read this post yourself, as always. Watch the video. The video it just makes me super, super excited to play this RC3, and I'm hoping it's going to come shortly. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. So, as I said, I've given you my opinion on it. I really think this is going to really change the playscape for a lot of us. And I hope you guys are excited as I am. As always, I hope you enjoyed your Mondoid for today. I hope you swing by and check this blog post out. There's a video you got to go check out. You got to watch it in action. And I hope I see you guys next week. If you're new to Mondoid, make sure you stick around. I've got plenty of other game reviews, indie snapshots, Let's Plays, and a nice, neat little series called Killed in Action, Missing in Action, where I take a look at games that have been canceled prematurely or have gone missing over the years, and I take a look at what happened to them in the development cycle, etc., etc. So check it out. I will see you guys shortly, if not next Monday, and thank you so much for stopping by.